Hello everybody. Hi, how are you? So I got some more goodies from Arteza, however we pronounce it. So I wanted to show you some of them, and then I think we're going to swatch some out here. So the first thing are these Arteza water-based twee markers, which I think stands for twin markers, and here they are swatched out here. So 48 colors. They're very juicy. You get lots of vibrant, bright colors. And I will have to color some images with them, but I wanted to show them to you. So the first thing I noticed right off the bat is that these markers are extremely light. So if you're someone who doesn't like heavy markers, the lids come off both ends pretty easily. You have a brush tip on one side. And I don't do calligraphy lettering, but I know that there's some people out there that do. So, you can do thick or you can do thin lines. And then the other end is a very fine point tip. So if you are into doing very fine detail work, very handy to have that. But a lot of bright colors. I will do a video in the future, coloring a stamped image in with these beautiful markers. Okay, so very light set, and you can see it comes in a very nice variety of colors. So 48 colors for that. The next thing I wanted to show you guys were these are brand new. These are the Arteza metallic acrylics. So you get 36 of them, and again, I've swatched them out, and I don't know if you guys can see the shimmer on them. They're very pearlescent, and I really like this A232 and the color above it, A222. I believe they're very deep colors that would look really nice for holidays. So I'm really looking forward to using these when it comes to Christmas season. This A130 is a bronze. There is a copper. There's a gold. There's two golds actually down here. So, and then of course you get black, you get silver, you get pearl. Now, I have the larger acrylics, and the gold, the silver, the A127 and the A128 are the same. But I wanted to show you guys these, and they also sent me some brush pens, and there's 4 different sizes of nibs in these brush pens. Let me open those up for you. These are 4, they're water brushes, so all you do is you twist them counterclockwise. So I kept trying to twist it normally, so counterclockwise to open it up, run that under a sink, and then you have the water brush. And they have, show here. Okay, so you get one very large one. And then you get 2 of the fine point and then 1 medium point. So you get a large, a medium, and 2 fine points. And I have a water brush similar to this style. If I can find it. Okay, so this is the one that I got from, I think it's Stampin' Up. And it is equivalent to the medium size nib, but it is a synthetic fiber. The nibs do stain, but that does not affect how they work. I don't think that's the right lid for that. But these are nice soft barrels, so they're very easy to squeeze and get the water out. In fact, I had to watch how much I was squeezing it because I was so used to pressing down much harder to get the water out that it was really coming out pretty easily for me yesterday. And the other thing I wanted to show you is, okay, the lids do fit on the back of the pens too. Okay, so then they sent me this 30-page sketch pad. It's premium black paper. It's 9 by 12 inches. Now, the only thing I will say is it says it's 90 pound. It does not feel like 90 pound to me. I believe it's probably closer to 65 pound. It just doesn't feel as heavy. But I wanted to use this today to swatch out the metallic acrylic colors. And the other thing I noticed is these tubes are much larger. So let me grab the other box of the acrylic tubes so you can see what they look like. Okay, so here I have the set of gouache, and these are the metallic gouache, and you can see the size of the tubes. These are 12 milliliters. The acrylic metallics are much larger. They are 22 milliliters. So you're getting 10 more milliliters of paint. You can see the size difference there. But I wanted to swatch these out. I do have a couple of gouache here too that we'll swatch out, compare them to the acrylic. Now the biggest difference is gouache, again, has a little bit of watercolor property to it, so it does reactivate with water, where acrylic, once it's dry, should not reactivate with water. So that should be the biggest difference. But I just wanted to swatch out a couple of these, and I'm just going to use this water brush. It's what I used to swatch them out yesterday. Grab a paper towel. And let's see, maybe we can match up some of the gouache colors versus the acrylics. Okay, so this is the acrylic metallic bronze. Oops, a little too much there. And this is the gouache one. What else do we have here? We have gold. This just says gold. It doesn't say what color gold. I'm going to put both golds on here. Okay, so the first one was Aztec gold. That one was called just regular gold. And then we have silver. Let's see here. And we have the gouache silver. If I can find some colored ones. Here's one called Bubblegum. Nice light, almost like a carnation pink. And we have this one, which is called Pearl Rose, which is a little darker, but we can see how they dry differently. The Eucalyptus. Nice light green. And we have Pearl Cactus, I think is as closest we're gonna get. Oh, is there a lighter one? This one looks like it's a little closer. Pastel green, they call it in the metallic. acrylic. And let's do one more. Here's a pearl purple. Is a pearl royal purple. So it doesn't look like you're really going to get duplicate colors. Again, one's going to be acrylic and one's going to be gouache, and the primary difference there is that the gouache is going to be water activated and the acrylics are going to dry with a little more of a sheen to them. But let's see how they swatch out here. Let me get my little cup of water. And I will tell you, these paints are super creamy, very, very nice consistency. When I was swatching them out, I couldn't believe how nice and creamy they were. Like I kind of expected that maybe there would be some grittiness to them, or you know, maybe they just have some color inconsistencies. But every time I've gotten these paints out to use them, they've been super smooth. And that's all of the Arteza paints. The watercolor paints, the gouache paints, the acrylic paints have all been that way. So again, the bottom row is going to be the gouache, and the top is going to be the regular acrylic paint. But I wanted to see how opaque they look on black paper and what the color differences would be between the two, because like I said, you do get a small handful of the pearl paints or metallic paints, whatever you want to call them, in the gouache set as well. All right, this was one of the golds. And to me, it seems like these paints dry pretty quickly too, so if you're someone that doesn't want to wait around all day, like I am very impatient when it comes, well, you guys know I try to do my crafting pretty quickly. So, I was very surprised at how quickly these paints dried as well. This is the other gold. I don't think I put enough gold down there. It wasn't a big enough dollop of paint. This is the silver. I do feel like the gouache paint is a little more opaque than the acrylic paint. As I'm swatching these out, I can see that the gouache paint is not as transparent as the acrylic paint is. It's a little heavier bodied, I guess. This was the gouache light pink. I think it was called bubblegum pink. And that was the acrylic rose pink. And you can see the difference there. And then we have, this was called eucalyptus green and pale green. Or pastel green and eucalyptus green or something like that. All right, so these greens are very similar in color, but again, you can see that the gouache paint is a little more opaque. So if you want that heavier body, I would probably go with the gouache. And then these were the purples. Yeah, see a big difference there. I will link both paints down below for you guys, as well as the black paper and the water brushes for you if you are interested in them. I'll probably come back and do another video on painting something out with these guys. But I really wanted to compare and see how they did. And you can see the water brushes stain. All water brushes stain. It doesn't affect how they operate. If you don't want your water brushes to stain, I guess you could, you know, maybe soak them in a little vinegar or something, but it doesn't affect me. But they all do stain. That is normal use. All right, so there we go, guys. It's just comparing out the 36 acrylic paints versus the gouache pearlescent colors that are included in the 60 gouache colors from Arteza. You guys can get a closer look there. And then once they're dry, let me show you my little swatch book here. Okay, so here I had swatched out some acrylic, gouache, and watercolor. This is also acrylic here. My brush is not cleaned. So I just want to show you here, going in with water over the acrylic paint is not moving it, not doing anything. Let me go over here and do this on the gouache, and you can see that the gouache immediately starts to activate, which is the biggest difference between the gouache and the acrylic paints. Is the acrylic paints are going to be a little more permanent. The gouache paint will activate as well as the watercolor paint when you add water to them. And these have been in this book for 2 weeks now. And this acrylic I did last night. And here's another one. Not moving. So that's the biggest difference. And like I said, I feel like gouache paint is kind of a marrying of the two paints, where gouache is going to be a little more opaque than watercolor paint. Watercolor paint is traditionally very transparent. So gouache, depending on how much water you add to it, will either be opaque or will be transparent the more water you add to it. And acrylic paint is going to be the most permanent, so it's not going to be water soluble like gouache and watercolor are. So there you go, guys. I hope you liked this video. If you have any questions, post them down below and I will link them for you. Thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye bye.